a beginner's guide to Cannith crafting for 2023 headed into 2024. We're going to go over the simplest way for you to get your Cannith crafting up as fast as you can. This method works whether or not you're on the hardcore server, whether you're on any server. I am in Korthos. My toon right now only has level 3. You want to leave Korthos, you want to go to the market. And we get to the market by running through the harbor. You want to talk to this Baudry Cartman. When you talk to this person, he'll give you a bag. Bag will be a red bag. And then you want to run over here and talk to Fitzpat. Fitzpat will give you a blue bag. And then we want to talk to this fabricator recruiter. This person will give you the crafting quest that they will give you a tiny green bag. And they also will give you a quest to go and find the crafting hall. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to pick up that quest. You're going to go into the marketplace. So we want to run straight through the market. You can wave to whoever is there if you want. We're running through. And we are headed where we are going to actually proceed with this quest. And the crafting hall is right here. So we literally just zoned in right there, and the crafting hall is right here. And once we are in the crafting hall, we'll see this maker, and the maker will give us what we need to continue with the quest. It's going to walk us through all the specifics. Something to keep in mind regarding Cannith crafting is the item levels go from level 1 to level 32 in power. So you can craft heroic, epic, and legendary gear. Crafting with Cannith will be as strong as any of the other gear that you can loot. The only gear that it's not as strong as is raid gear. The materials that you need to craft are two different things. You need to have collectibles and you need to have essences. And we're going to go over each type as we follow the instructions from the maker here. I would recommend to you that you do the tutorial. Crafting lets you remove a magic effect from one item, and the essences you then grab, and the essences look like this. That's a stack of essences right there. So anytime we take an item, and I'll actually show you guys that before we pick up this quest here. The deconstructor looks like this shield that is sort of broken, right? And there is a deconstruct station here on this side to the right of the maker. And then there's also a deconstruct station on the left. Basically, each side, the left and the right, are mirrors of each other. So it doesn't matter which way you go. It's just that there is an NPC here that you can buy stuff from. And then there is a bank. The difference between the two sides is that the left side has a banker and the right side has an auction house. That is the only difference between the two sides. So it doesn't really matter which side you go to, but you can see this is the item deconstruction machine. And if I take this, any item, drag it in here, any random gen item, it's going to ask me whether I want to disjunct it or dissolve it. Disjuncting it will make it into a crafting blank. Basically, it will remove the curse spewing and the feeding, and it will just make it a blank sword. Dissolving it, if I hit deconstruct, will turn it into essences. So I just got 3 essences for dissolving that. Sometimes you get back platinum, sometimes you don't. That item was only level 1, so I did not get any platinum for that. But you need to come over and buy the materials from this vendor. And they're not very expensive at all. You just buy a bunch of dissolvers. And if you want to make some items keyed for crafting, you buy some disjunction dust. But you don't need any disjunction dust if you're not going to actually craft anything immediately. But okay, we need to use the dissolver to deconstruct an item. He will give us a quarterstaff, and we are going to go and deconstruct that. So here's the quarterstaff that he gave us. We take it into the deconstructor and we dissolve it. So before you can enchant a new item, we need to combine the essences into a shard. You need at least 10 Cannith essences to do that. Now, I have stacks of Cannith essences, but he will give you 10. So normally you provide your own essences, but for this exercise, I'm going to give you 10. Go to a bound crafting shard device and combine those ingredients into a minimum level 1 shard. Okay, I will make a minimum level 1 shard. So what he's asking us to do is to go to a bound crafting station. Bound crafting stations where you make the actual essence is right next to the decomposer. So there's the decomposer. This is the bound device shard. And like I said, that this is a mirror. So if we go to the other side, there's the deconstructor, and right next to that is the bound shard creator. So you have to make the shard for whatever it is that you want, whatever the effect is that you want to apply. And you can look through this book here. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do. But what we are supposed to do for this quest is manufacture a minimum level 1 shard, which is right here. And we make it. We had the 10 essences to do it. And now we have the minimum level 1 shard. So we're going to go back to the vendor here and tell him that we made that. And so what you want to do is run through this quest. Now you need to prepare an item to receive the effect. So we need, this is what we made. We need to now prepare an item in order to enhance. Normally you'd have to provide an item. So we do actually have items, but we are going to we're going to continue with this quest. So he's going to give us a heavy mace. So I need to take this mace, and what we need to do is key it for crafting. So we have to go into the deconstructor, and we already purchased the disjunction dust. We need to put this here and then disjunct it. And now that is ready. You can see when you read the description, it says Cannith crafting. That means that it's ready to be worked on. So let's see now. I think maybe okay. So now we have a weapon that's ready. Take the level 1 shard and apply it in the bound item crafting device station. So that's very easily done. So we have the deconstructor right here. We have the bound shard creator right here. And then always next to the bound shard creator is the machine where you make the actual item. And this is exactly the same on the other side. And again, we're only dealing with bound items right now. So anything that you make, here's the deconstructor. This makes the shards right here. And then the actual item maker is right here. And the way to think about this is that anything that you make that's bound is much easier to make because it only works for your account. If you wanted to make a mace like this and then give it to your friend, you have to go across to the unbound station, which is opposite right there. This is the unbound shards. Here is an unbound item. And then you would have to craft there, but those are way more expensive to create, so we won't focus on that. The thrust of this is to get the crafting, Cannith crafting up for you to make bound items for yourself to use. So this is the bound item. So what we do is we take the mace that we have keyed, ready for crafting, we drag it over here, and this is going to show us all of the effects that we can put on the mace. The first thing you have to do is apply a minimum level to it, and this works for any weapon. So you wouldn't ever sit down and say, oh, I'm going to make a +1 to put onto this. What you do is you apply the minimum level, and then the device will assign the plus to the item based on your level. So that it's really nice that you don't have to worry about affixing like a +4 or a +5, the device will automatically assign you that. So level 1, we should get a +1 mace out of this. So here's the apply minimum level 1. This is the shard. You can drag the shard over. You can see it's already in there, but if I wanted to, I could just do it like this. And you see that it will show me what those 2 items will make. This is what it will make, and then we just hit craft. And then we got a little crafting XP. You can see I went from level 3 to level 5 by crafting that. And now I have a bound to account +1 mace that has a prefix and a suffix slot on it. So that means I can make a +1 mace of something, depending on what we want to make. And you can make anything, really. Anything based on the materials that you have. So we'll see if this Warforge gives us anything else. So congratulations, you've made yourself a level 1. Feel free to do with it as you wish. Oh, so that's it. So that's the end of the quest right there. So from that reward, you gain a couple of items. You gain a greater crafting experience. You have to pick one. Success booster or a pendant of travel. Okay, so I can tell you right away, do not take the pendant of travel. You don't need it. Even if you're brand new to the game, there's another way to get this sort of a buff for yourself by questing. What you want to grab is either the elixir or the success boosters. I would recommend that you grab the success boosters because they will be more useful to you and they are more expensive than to buy the potion. So I'm going to pick the success boosters, and you can see I've already purchased some from the store. I've already made some purchases from the DDO store. I don't have that many DDO points, but I used what I had to buy a major crafting experience elixir. You want to buy one of those when you can. 100% bonus. Get the best one you can. You want to save up your DDO points enough to buy the 35% crafting success boosters and then a major crafting elixir. This elixir will last 30 minutes. That is plenty of time. It's enough time to get all of the crafting done. What you're going to do now after you do this is basically go out and quest, because you could have come in here and done this quest at like level 2 or level 1, whatever. You're going to go out and quest and you're going to get gear. You can see I have a bunch of low level, like level 1 and 2 gear. What you're going to do is you're not going to sell that gear for money. You are going to take the gear and you're going to come back to this crafting station. You're going to go into the deconstruction machine and you are going to basically grind away, dissolve all of your items and collect. Not only will you be collecting crafting experience, every time you do this, your crafting experience will go up. You can actually watch it go up as we do this. It doesn't go up a lot, but it does go up. See, so we'll do a couple more. Now it's level 6. I'm level 6. And this is only, these items are level 1. I bought these. This is a level 2 bow. Like, this is not high level stuff. So there's that. This is a level 3 two-handed weapon. This is a level 3 scepter. We're just going to grind it all. Don't sell any of your gear. You're just going to grind it. You'll grind everything away. And what you are doing is you are collecting these essences. This is what we need to collect, these essences. You will lose out on some platinum. So if you're doing this on Hardcore League, you may not be able to do it immediately because obviously you want to get a little bit of an economy going by saving your platinum. But once you get a little bit of platinum and you can do this, I highly recommend that you start saving essences. So there, all of them are gone. And now I've got my essences. You can see my level keeps going up. And if you quest all the way through, let's say to level 20, just by doing Slayer zones and normal questing, you can get enough items that you could probably get this number by doing that to around 30 or 40. Keep in mind that you do not need to have any crafting score in order to make Death Block, Underwater Action, or Featherfall. You can make those 3 items at level 1. All you need to get are the materials in order to make them, and we'll go take a look at that right now. So this is a deconstruction. If I want to make an item, the first thing I need to do is make the shard. We're here at the bound shard. And like I said, bound is where you want to be. You don't want to look at the unbound. Bound. And so what I would do here is type in underwater, or actually let's do feather falling, because feather falling is something that is very important. Your minimum level to craft it is level 1. You only need 10 essences, which we got 50 from deconstructing all of those low level items. We need 15 prayer beads and 5 Kyber prayer pamphlets, and then we could craft a Featherfall shard. And so if I hit craft, what happens is I get a little bit of crafting XP, but I also get a shard. It's bound to my account, so that means that I can put it in my shared bank. I could trade it. I could mail it to my other character if I wanted to. And this will allow me to put a prefix on anything that is a cloak, a pair of shoes, a ring, or a trinket. And you can see when I mouse over that, it tells you where this particular shard will fit. And there's websites where you can do crafting, Cannith crafting planners, but it's very easy to sort of see once you make the shard where it can go. So all I would have to do is find a cloak and then key it, wipe it out by using this disjunction, dust, and then apply this to the cloak, and then I would have a cloak of feather falling. What we want to do is you want to basically collect essences until you have around 20,000 essences. So you can see that's almost exactly what I have, because I wanted to show you. I have a little bit over 20,000 essences. And once you get 10 to 20,000 essences, you are ready to use this major crafting elixir and these success boosters to get your crafting up. And I'll show you exactly how to do that right now. So what we want to do, once you are ready, and I highly recommend that you wait until you have at least 10,000 essences. And so that is probably the biggest amount of time that you have to sort of wait between starting. You can deconstruct items and get your crafting up. You could technically do this with 5,000, but what you want to do is maximize your use of this potion and maximize your use of these. And you'll see exactly why that is. Once we start, we're going to go through these essences really quickly, and this number is going to jump up. And we want to maximize the amount of DDO points that we spent, because as you can see, like you guys, if you're on the hardcore league, I don't have any points left. So I spent my money to buy these, and I want to make sure I get the bang for my buck out of that, because even though they're not super expensive, when you don't have a lot of DDO points, it's really expensive. So we're ready to go. We're going to make all bound shards, and what you're going to make is, if you look in this recipe book, we're basically just going to make all of these minimum level shards. That's it. We're not making anything else. So we're not making the false life shard. We're not making the wizardry shard. We're just making minimum level shards. And what we want to do is we want to make the most difficult that we can make. And the way that you do that is you look at your success chance, and you want this number to be like 3%. You want it to be so low that it looks impossible. And then what you do is you pull these success boosters over And if you watch, the success chance, even though it's normally only 26 chance, now it's 61% with that success booster in there. When we craft that, there's a chance that we'll lose this boost because it's only 60%, right? But if we succeed, we're going to get a bunch of crafting XP. So before we do that's the concept, okay? That's the gist of what we're doing. Before you do that, though, you want to use this major crafting experience elixir that lasts for 30 minutes, and it grants you 100% bonus to all the XP that you earn. This is really important because this will allow you to maximize the amount of essences that you have saved up. And we're actually not going to make any items right now. We're just going to focus on getting this number up. I drink the bonus. There it is. You can see 30 minutes. The timer is clicking. I open this up. And then what we're going to do, because this is so low, 26, I'm going to use one of these boosters, 50%. And you can see I succeeded. I made the shard and my crafting jumped up to level 22. So now you do not continue, okay? What you need to do now, every time you make one item, you're going to close this window, okay? Close it, completely close it. And you're going to reopen it, and then you're going to look in the list and find the lowest number, the absolute lowest number. So this is, I only have a 6% chance to make this level 5 item normally. If I hit this, I waste a whole bunch of Cannith essences. It's a waste unless I put a booster in there. Now it's 40% chance, a 40% chance to make this. But if I succeed, I'm going to get a boatload of XP, and that XP is going to be modified by this crafting elixir that I have running. So we'll hit it once to see how we do. Right now I'm level 22, and we succeeded, and now I'm level 59. And what's the rule? We don't continue. We close the window completely because you want to reopen it. And what you want to do is look and see what the absolute lowest is. It looks like the absolute lowest for us now is level 8 at 30%. And so what I'm going to do is take one of these. I have plus 35. You always want to get the best of these you can get. When we did the quest, he gave us some 25s. That's why I have those. So I'm going to throw the 25 over there. 55% chance to succeed. We're level 59. That failed. It crunched a bunch of essences. I lost one of the boosters, but I can do it again. And that succeeded. Now I'm level 65. Want to close it, right? Don't double pump it. Always stop. Close it, go back, and now we want to open it up again and look and see what the new minimum level is, what the lowest number is. It looks like the lowest is level 9, 16%. That's really low, 16%. So I'm going to use a 35% booster on that. 51%, I'm at level 65. I've still got 9,000 essences. And there, we succeeded. Now I'm level 76, and you're going to be tempted to double pump this, but you don't want to. You want to stop, close it, and you want to make sure that everything's cleared. And you want to look in here and see what the lowest one is. Lowest is level 10, and we're not going to make any of this other stuff. We're just focusing on these minimum levels. Minimum level 10, level 20, I'm going to use a 35% booster. There's 55%. I'm at 76. That one failed, so we lost some essences. We lost a booster, but we're going to go again. And that succeeded. We're now at level 84. I'm going to close it down, reopen it. And now we need to grab whatever the lowest number is. The lowest is level 11 now, 13%. I'm going to drag over a booster, 48%. My level's 84. That failed, so I lost some essences. Lost a booster, but I'm going to do it again. That succeeded. Now I'm at 94. We're going to close that and we're going to reset it, right? Make sure you always reset this. So I always back up and then go forward. And that's an important part because sometimes the menu doesn't update. Like if you were to just clear it, it doesn't. So I close it and reopen it. 13% to make a level 12. Drag a booster over. We still got plenty of essences, 48%. 94. That one failed. We lost some essences. We lost a booster. But we succeeded on the next one. Now we're over 100. We'll see where we are now. Level 13, we have a 6% chance. I'm going to drag a 35% booster over there for 41%. You can see we still have 24 minutes on our major crafting. We still have 17 35% boosters and 2 20% boosters. And we still have a bunch of essences. That one was a big success. Got us to level 115. We're going to close this down. Now, why you want so many essences, you may say, oh my God, going at this rate, you can go all the way up. Well, the higher up the level you go, the more expensive you can see, the more essences they charge you as you go up. So what we want to do is make sure that you have enough essences in order to cover these higher levels. This level 14, 16%, we're going to drag the booster over, and we've got a 51% chance. We're at 115. That one failed. We lost some essences. We lost a booster. We'll try again. That succeeded. Now we're at level 120. We're going to back up and close it all down, and then go in. Want to see what the minimum level item is now that we can make. It looks like it's still 14 at 33%. Since it's 33%, I'm going to use a 25% booster. We've got a 58% chance. We're at level 120. We succeeded. Now we're at level 122. I'm going to close it and go back in again. See what the lowest is. The lowest is level 15. 6% chance because 6 is such a low percent. I'm going to use a 35% booster. 41% chance to go. I still have a bunch of essences, level 122, craft and cross our fingers, and we hit it. That's great. We're now at level 132. We'll back up, close it down, open it, and here we go. We're going to look and see what the lowest level is. Level 16, level 6 is the lowest. There's our success booster. We've got our things ready to go, and we're at level 132. That failed. Used up a bunch of essences, used a booster, but we're going to try again. And that succeeded. That got us to level 140. We still got 11 success boosters, 125% one. We're still 22 minutes on our potion. So you can see that this works really quickly. You need a lot of success boosters. One potion. This is why when we picked the reward, I picked the success boosters because you go through them. Level 16, 33%. That's pretty high. So I'm going to use one of the lower percent boosters that I have, the 25% booster. 58%, 140. There's the attempt. We succeeded. 142. We'll back up, close it, open it. And now we have a 6% chance to make a level 17. Drag the booster over. Got plenty of essences. 142. 41% chance. And we succeeded. Awesome. Now we're at level 149. Close it all down. Open it up again. And now we need to find the lowest. Just keep going. Looks like it's 30%. And that's okay. We're at 149 here. If I use a booster on 49, that's 65%. That succeeded. That got us to 150. back up and open it again. Let's see where we are. We're still making level 17. 71%. That one failed. That one failed. And that one succeeded. There we go, 151. Get the lowest number here now is 3% for level 18. Minimum level 18, 3%. I've got 6 boosters left, 38% chance. I've still got 17,000 essences, 151. Keep our fingers crossed for this one. This will be a big hit if we can get it. Yeah, and we got it. 10,000 experience. Now we're at 163. That was great. So you can see, like, we have 5 success boosters left. You really want to use those when the success chance is really low. The lowest you can get it. So there's level 19, 10% chance. There's our success booster, 45%. We have plenty of those. We're at 163. Cross our fingers. Oh, we missed. But we lost essences. We lost a booster, but we're going to try again. Oh, it's another miss. We lost some essences. We lost a booster. We're going to try again. Move a little bit to the side here. Oh, we lost again. Still have plenty of essences, but we're down to 2 boosters. We really got to hit this one. Oh, and we hit it, finally. So 167. And we've got 1 booster left. So let's see where we are, if we can make a level 20 item yet. Almost. We can almost make a level 20 item. We have 23. Here's our last booster, 58%, 167, and we failed that. So you can see now you'd be in a situation if I want to continue, I can. Trying to make 23%. Likely it's probably better for me if I want to get my score up a little bit to focus on this one that's a natural 56%, since I don't have any more boosters and since I can't afford to buy any more boosters. However, what I would recommend to you if you're in this situation is I would recommend that you wait, that you go out and quest and you earn some DDO points so you can buy the boosters. They're under the gear and crafting area. These success boosters. So the 35s are 150. The 30s are 125, 25%. You can buy these as you quest and get more DDO points. You get a lot of DDO points by doing quests and dungeons. So, and then save your essences, because the essences are the hardest thing to get. But for now, at level 167, you could, if you wanted to, if you said, oh, I have a ton of these essences, I want to try, you can hit it, and then you see that you do get some experience, but because you're not boosting your success chance up that high, you don't get that big a payout, so your leveling, you can see, goes a lot slower, and you will burn through these essences really quickly. Like every time I pull this lever here, I'm losing 180 essences. But that got us to level 168. But I wouldn't recommend doing that. I'd recommend waiting until you have more success boosters, because when you make any of these, you can see the payout on the XP. This gives you 500. This gives you 1,400. Remember, with that major crafting, that's doubled. So that's a much more significant hit. But with level 168, we can make items that are between level 1 and 197. And that is quite a bit of gear that we have 100% chance to make for ourselves. All we need to do is farm the collectibles in order to make them. And you farm collectibles in quests. There are on the DDO wiki, you could look up the specific collectible that you need, and it will tell you exactly where to get it if you wanted to hunt to make something specific. A lot of the lower level harbor quests, such as Waterworks or any of those level 2 harbor quests, have a lot of collectibles in them. And then other items, as you get up higher, require like epic level collectibles that you can get once you start doing epics and legendary content. Okay, I have a cloak. We're going to make our feather falling cloak. So I have a cloak. What I need to do is to drag it over here to level 3 cloak. We're going to wipe it and make it and key it for crafting. And we do that not by dissolving it, but by disjuncting it. So you want to make sure that you buy some dust of disjunction, then deconstruct it. And then what happens is now this cloak is keyed for Cannith crafting. What we need to do is apply a minimum level slot. And then we need to apply, once you apply the minimum level slot, you apply your actual effect. So it's a 2-step process. So you always want to decide first what your minimum level is. So because this is going to be a feather falling cloak, I want to be able to use this feather falling cloak at level 1. And what I want to do is I want to drag my cloak. We've decided we're going to make it level 1. So I drag my level 1 shard over there. Or if you didn't want to do that, you could select level 1 over here. And it's going to tell you whether or not you have the material. We do. And it's going to say we've got a 100% chance to craft this. Now, something to keep in mind is anyone can combine a keyed item and a shard. You don't have to have any crafting level to do this part. We just applied, we get 0 crafting XP because, like I said, there's no skill. But now we have this cloak keyed to minimum level 1, and we've got 2 slots, a prefix and a suffix. That means that we can put 2 things on this item. So we already made the Featherfall shard, which is a prefix. So we will drag this over here, and it shows us that we can apply a feather falling prefix to this item. We'll hit craft 100%. And now we have a level 1 feather falling cloak. And the cloak also has 1 extra item slot, a suffix slot, that we could look through and try to apply a suffix to. So we can do that before we wrap up. But right now, if we were on the Hardcore League, we are wearing a minimum level 1 bound feather falling cloak, so we wouldn't have to worry about dying to falling damage. As we progress and play, we could say, hey, you know what? I've got a suffix slot on this cloak, so let's see if there's something cool. If you mouse over these items, it will tell you where and what the particular item can do. So, for example, this false life shard, I'm mousing over this. If you look at the description, it tells you the ingredient type, binds to account, a magically imbued shard, and below that it says this is a suffix, and this goes on neck, armor, rings, waist, shield, trinket, or rune arm. So we could not put a false life shard onto this cloak, but we can. Okay, and we found a pretty decent suffix for a cloak. This suffix is a fire absorption shard, and we can make it and apply it to our cloak. So it will be a feather falling cloak that absorbs fire. Fire absorption is great for heroic questing because there's a lot of fire. There's a lot of monsters that do fire damage. So this is a level 50 shard. We have 100% chance to craft it because our level now is 168. And in my bank, I have the 15 blades of the Dark 6 and the 5 powder bloods to create that. So I hit craft. It made the shard for me. Now, this is a bound shard, so I can't trade it to anybody else, but I can trade it to myself or mail it to myself if I wanted to, put it in my bank, and then use it on another character. But so now I take the cloak, put it into the machine. This is the item machine now. And I take the shard, And it's telling me, look, you can apply the fire absorb suffix because you have an open suffix slot. And I craft it. I got no XP for that because this is an item. But now my cloak is completed, 11% fire absorption. And that's based on the level, right? So if this cloak were a level 20, that fire absorption would be much higher. It'd be like around 30%-ish, somewhere around there, 25 or some odd percent, whatever it is for level 20. If it were level 10, it would be, like 19% or something like that. Like that would go up based on the minimum level. But for this being a level 1, that's 11% fire absorb with feather fall. And that's not bad. And so now you can take all of these shards that you made, these minimum level shards, and drag them into your crafting storage so that you can use them on other characters. The other thing that will go into your crafting storage as well is these disjunction will go in, and dissolvers will go in to your crafting storage. Also, your essences will go into storage as well. I recommend for questions about Cannith crafting to check out the DDO wiki.